Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. So something real quick. Was just reading some various different news articles. A lot of talk of the dissension between the Republican, candidate, which we know is Trump, and the NATO allies is picking up steam again, and this ties directly into biblical prophecy. Something that we all are fully aware that is going to take place as we get closer to the end of Babylon the Great and the end of Esau Edom's hegemony. One of the things that the Lord is going to cause to happen is the beast hating the whore. All right, and understanding who the beast is and understanding who the whore is. This whole, as you see here, Trump threatens to encourage attack on NATO allies. This right here is a clear indication that things are going in that direction. So let's just listen to this. He said this over the weekend. I'm going to say it might have been yesterday. It says February 11th. I'm not sure if it was yesterday, but this is when it was posted. So let's just listen to what he says here.
Said, you got to pay up. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
Okay. All right. So it actually was on February 10th. I just saw it in the upper left-hand corner. But as you just heard, Donald Trump just said that he would encourage Russia to do whatever the hell they want on a NATO ally if they didn't pay their portion of the defense bill, which is 2% of each country's GDP, gross domestic product. So let's go back here. It says Trump NATO's remark sparks political storm in world's capitals. Donald Trump comments over the weekend that he once told a European leader he'd abandon NATO members to a Russian invasion if they hadn't met defense spending commitments, have renewed talk about what a second term would mean for allies. Now, something I was thinking about is how here in America, you have everybody is against the current administration, right? They even had certain polls that say that a lot of minorities, particularly so-called blacks and Latinos, are moving away from the Democratic Party and going toward the Republican Party because of the terrible job that Joe Biden is doing. So inward, or shall I say, within America, a lot of people don't see the Democratic Party as being a party that they want to side with, being a party that they trust, okay, to lead the government and the country back to a more a more elevated position. However, foreign relations do not see President Donald Trump as being somebody that they could work with. All right, particularly within America's own allies, aka the European allies, which a majority of the NATO countries are in Europe, right? Because I do believe you also have Canada as a NATO country as well. But this is so this is really interesting because let's say Trump does end up back in presidency, foreign relations are going to deteriorate rapidly, which is already kind of happening now, with the whole thing that's going on with the state of the 48ers and the unwavering backing that America has given to them. Although a lot of, UN nations or should I say UN countries rather, are, condemning what the 48ers are doing, right? But here it is, America is still giving them billions of dollars to, forward their campaign of just complete bombing of, those Palestinians. So it says Trump's comments on NATO send a horrible message to Russian President Vladimir Putin and to America. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin said Sunday. His party colleague Joe Fetterman blasted them as astonishing and wild. Trump's allies in the Senate, on the other hand, defended his remarks. I'm not worried about it at all, said Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican. He is not going to withdraw from NATO. The last thing Russia would do if Trump is president is start a war. He's just trying to make a point. Okay, so Trump, when he says certain things, he actually is wild enough and absurd enough to do these things. And at the end of the day, it's all according to, once again, the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So the Lord is, the Heavenly Father is going to cause something to take place between America and Russia and NATO, to where they will become at odds with one another. And what we're seeing in the rhetoric and how these various other European countries leaders view working with Trump as a detrimental. This could very well be something that sparks that, all right, or catapults that prophecy into manifestation. So it says, let's see. Let's read a little bit here. It says Trump said at a rally in South Carolina on Saturday that the decades-old military alliance was busted until he came along and forced members to pay up. When a leader at an unspecified NATO meeting asked if the U.S. would protect them if they were delinquent on spending, Trump said he responded by saying that he would tell Russia to do, quote, whatever the hell they want to those who weren't meeting their obligations. Pushback from President Joe Biden's administration was swift. Encouraging invasions on our closest allies by murderous regimes is appalling and unhinged, and it endangers American national security, global stability, and our economy at home. So, hey, America is in a disarray all around. Both sides of the political party are not trusted, whether it's domestically or internationally. Okay, so collectively as a whole, America is being viewed as a country that is not to be trusted. All right, that cannot be, a full ally to anybody, right? Because you got both, either the Democratic or the Republican side doing things that their allies, so-called allies, do not agree with, right? And they're moving unilaterally without any type of council or any type of trying to come together with any other any other nation in their ideas. So that's only going to cause America to be more and more on an island, which is exactly where the Lord is positioning Babylon the Great America to be. Okay, it says White House spokesman Andrew Bates said in a statement on Saturday night, Biden in a statement in his re-election campaign called Trump's comments appalling and dangerous. In Europe, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in a statement on Sunday that the alliance remains ready and able to defend all allies. Any attack on NATO will be met with a unified, forceful response, he said. Any suggestion that allies would not defend each other undermines all of our security, including that of the U.S., and puts America and European soldiers at risk. So I do have an article coming from Russia Today, based off what this guy just said, what you see, Jens Stoltenberg. It says NATO chief condemns Trump's threat. The former U.S. president said that he would refuse to defend members of alliance who failed to pay their defense bill. And this was a talking point that he even had back when he was president from 2016 to 2020. Okay, I remember him stating that he was going to, force the countries that are not paying their portion of the defense bill, he's going to force them to pay up, or there would be, repercussions. So now he is speaking more boldly about what those repercussions would be. Okay, and now, right, is even more dire than before, because there is, when he made those statements back in 2016, there wasn't any war going on between Russia and, well, it's not going on between NATO right now, but Russia wasn't at war, with any NATO allies, because that's, basically what Ukraine is. It's an ally to NATO, although it's not a part of NATO, right? And now there's talks that these other NATO countries like Poland, I believe, was it Switzerland or the Netherlands, they're telling their citizens to get ready for war against Russia. So the talk of war going, against Russia is something that is heavy in the minds of these European countries. But here it is, you have America, which once again, biblically speaking, is referred to as the whore in Revelation, the 17th chapter. They, by the words of Donald Trump, who majority of Americans want to see as president, they are saying, America is saying that it will not defend certain European countries if they do not pay up. And a lot of these countries are not paying up to their defense spending bill, right? And that's another talking point on why you have a lot of officials in Europe talking about there needs to be a European army, right? That is outside of America, because they are saying that they can't really trust America to come to their defense, right? At on a whim. So what Donald Trump is saying is only just it's only just strengthening that position that they have. All right, reading on, it says former U.S. President Donald Trump despairing comments about NATO members' failure to meet their military spending commitments put the whole alliance at risk, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg warned in a statement on Sunday. Right? Speaking at a rally in South Carolina on Saturday, Trump suggested that such countries should not receive U.S. protection in an event of an attack. Stoltenberg responded, any suggestions that, I just read this, I said I'm not going to read it again, right, going down here, it says, I expect that regardless of who wins the presidential election, the U.S. will remain a strong and committed NATO ally, he said. He added, okay, and this is also tying into Satan's house being divided, because all of these European countries are ran by Edomites, right? Even Russia, Russia is an Edomite country. Okay, so you have the house of Esau really at odds with one another, given and they're given issues, whatever issues that they have. And as the Lord said in the book of Matthew, let's pull it up. Actually, there's one in Mark, I believe. But hath an end. Yep. The book of Mark. No, why is this not red letter? So bear with me. Here we go. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, and he called unto him, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan, all right, and as the scripture says, that the wicked shall be revealed, whose coming is after the working of Satan. Right, that's not talking about one specific person, as the Christian church tries to tell you. It's a man that is the Antichrist, right? No, the whole system, the whole ideologies, the whole energy that Esau pushes out, and the whole way that he rules is in an anti-Messiah vibration, anti-Messiah spirit. All right. Satan means adverse or adversary. Now there is a spiritual demon Satan, but that spiritual demon Satan works through a nation of people. Now, of course, Satan can hop on anybody, but Esau Edom is the seed of the wicked. All right, the children of wickedness, as it tells us in the book of Samuel. So it says, if Satan rise up against himself, actually, let me see something. Where's the Strongs here? Let's see what it has for Satan, right? It says, it should say, yep, the last part, it says a Satan-like man, right? What else? Adversary, one who opposes another's purpose or act, right? So then it says the name given to the prince of evil spirits, that's a demon Satan, right? The chief demon on the left-hand side, or chief angel on the left-hand side. And then you have at B, it says a Satan-like man. So right here, this is tied to anybody who that opposes the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, opposes the righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and that's what Esau has set up. You know, that's when you look at the world and the things that are being pushed out, right, and accepted in the world, it's everything that is adverse to the righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So it says, if Satan rise up against Satan and be divided, okay, we go into this word divided, to set into pieces, into parts cut in pieces, right, to be split into factions, to distribute a thing among people. Hey, and that's what Esau is, right? He is divided. He has, his kingdom is separated into different parts. See, when the kingdom of heaven is established, which is the kingdom of Israel, it's going to be just like how it was during the time of King David and the time of Solomon, right? It's going to be one nation, all under the same order, all under the same, vibration, all have the same mindset, okay? The same laws, the same statutes, the same, agenda. All right. So that's why that kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, because it's going to be under, of course, Yahushai, right? And we're all going to follow in that manner. But here in Esau's kingdom, everybody's divided. Everybody has different ideologies. They want different things, different ways to rule. So if Satan rise up against Satan and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. All right. So it is going to come to an end because of the divisions that is amongst Esau, in his rulership, in his age, right? In his ruling age, which is the age that we're in right now. Okay. So let's go back here. It says, during his rally, Trump recalled a past conversation with the leader of an unnamed NATO state who supposedly asked what would happen if the defense spending targets were not being met and an external attack occurred. You didn't pay, you're delinquent, the former president said, calling his response, no, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage Russia to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay your bills. Okay, it says, following the former U.S. Leader's remark, however, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk expressed concern about the hot war at his country's border with Ukraine, questioning whether the U.S. would show full solidarity with other NATO countries in this confrontation that promises to last for a long time with Russia. His words echo Stoltenberg's own in an interview with the German media outlet Die Welt on Sunday, in which the NATO chief urged members to ramp up arms production to wartime levels in order to prepare for a confrontation with Moscow that could last for decades. See, we are in a time of war. Beat your plowshares into spears, right? Your pruning hooks into swords. That is the time that we're in. Okay, and it's these so-called leaders of these countries are saying this weekly. All right. weekly that this is what they're seeing, that this is what the time it is. And yet you still have a majority of people that are blinded, majority of people that are overcharged with the cares of this life, so that that day is going to come upon them unawares. And because it's going to be unawares, they're going to be caught in that snare and they're not going to be able to escape. Their minds, their stability is going to be completely unraveled, and they're going to bug the hell out. And because of fear, they're going to make the wrong choices, which is going to end up leading to either them, going down to Egypt for help, which is going to lead up to them getting, that charagma, which is ultimately is going to lead up to them being put to death, being destroyed. All right, because they lacked the foresight, they lacked the knowledge and wisdom of the times. All right, so for us that has the see these things, that's why Yahweh Shai told us to watch and therefore pray always that we may be worthy to be able to escape these things, because they are coming, they're here. It's happening in real time right now, right in before our eyes. All right, so let me just get this, since this was the basis of this lesson. Revelation chapter 17, verse let's go to, where is it? Yep, Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. It says, "He saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues," right? That's why America is known also as a melting pot, right? The great melting pot, because you got all nations here, right? It says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast," which are the 10 major countries that were in Europe, which turned now into about 28 countries that's a part of the EU, right? And there's plenty of videos that touch on what the 10 horns, what countries represent the 10 horns, which saw us upon the beast, right? The beast collectively is NATO, right? That power structure. All right, as you say here, beast, Therion, says a dangerous animal, metaphor, a brutal, bestial man, savage, ferocious. And that's exactly how this devil and his with his power structure, his military power structure operates in the world through their missiles, right? Through their weaponry, they're ferocious, and they have little to no regard of life when it comes to war. I mean, just take Japan, what happened during World War II, for instance, how they just dropped those atomic bombs on people, and even to this day, people are feeling the effects of that, through the radiation, cancer causing radiation, right? So it says, verse 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." Okay, they're going to hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. You see? And that is the whole point of the matter, because people will say, "Oh, how is that going to happen? NATO would never go to war with America. Yeah, they've been allies, X, Y, and Z." Well, what you lack, right? You err not knowing the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because he is in control in the kingdoms of men. All right, the heart of the king is in the hand. Heart of the kings is in the hand of Yahweh. So if it's his purpose and his will for an ally such as NATO, right, European countries, to come up and detest and hate the whore, which is America, and not only hate the whore, but shoot missiles at her, then that's what the Lord is going to have happen. And that's why it says burn her with fire. Okay, because this is not talking about a literal beast and a literal whore or harlot woman. This is talking about countries. Okay, and the way that one country burns another country with fire is with what? Missiles, nuclear missiles. So that's this talk that we're seeing, man. This is leading right up to that. So, I just want to bring that out, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, shalom.